Hey guys, it's your boy Rumsey, bringing you some good to step up your in-game efficiency and save your precious time and resources. I recently received a lot of questions about how I go about farming core resources in Valheim, and today I'm going to show you one of my foolproof methods of clearing and collecting black metal scraps, as well as barley, coins, Furling Totems, and Furling trophies. Even when kitted out in endgame gear, raiding a Furling village is no easy task. Luckily, I found a way around that, and I'm here to share that with you. When you find a village that you'd like to raid, the first thing you're going to want to do is start digging out a hole into the ground. The only thing you'll need for this method is a pickaxe, and one of the AoE hammers is advisable. Once you find a village, move close enough to where you can see the mobs, but they're not aggroing to you. If you accidentally aggro some along the perimeter, just kite them away and come back. Exiting the game after you run away is a cheap but effective method to reset their aggro as well. When you've dug yourself out a trench, place a workbench on the raised ground next to one of the walls. You can see my workbench sits roughly 2 wall tiles above the floor of my trench. Any building pieces I place during this video are simply to show the dimensions of the build, so don't think you have to place any of these yourself. After you started your trench that's around 2 walls deep, we're going to want to build a moat around the land where your workbench sits. You can skip placing your workbench if you'd like, but having it placed on the raised ground will give you a better understanding of where to dig. Continue digging in a rectangular fashion around the workbench. The length and width aren't super important, but just be sure to leave an area on your raised ground that's big enough to create a hole or crater inside. After you finish digging your trench, your end results would look something like this. My middle section is roughly 2 wide by 2.5 tiles long. This is about the minimum that you can comfortably get away with. As a quick side note, I'd like to say that like all of my videos, I'm not showcasing something that you have to do, rather just showcasing something that you can do. This is a sandbox game, so there is unlimited potential for play and creativity, and that's what I'm really trying to show here. Clearing these camps manually is fantastic fun, but like many, I've worn out the fun of clearing these camps long ago, and have since looked for more efficient and brain-dead ways of clearing them so that I can obtain the resources that are locked behind them. Depending on many variables, it can take up to 30 minutes to clear one of these camps by hand. But with this method, you can clear one of these camps in about 5 minutes from start to finish. It's a lot safer than doing it by hand. As you can see, my middle section is roughly 2 wide by 2.5 tiles long. This is about the minimum you can get away with. Once again, the dimensions are not super important, but for demonstration purposes I like to cover all measurements for easy comparison. Here's an overview of the dimensions of the entire build. You can feel free to alter the design in any way you see fit. As long as it works, it's just as good. After you have your rectangle raised in the middle that's at least 2 to 2.5 tiles tall, dig down on the rectangle on the 2 centermost tiles. You'll want to go at least 4 to 5 hits deep. You'll end up with a roughly 2x1 area depressed within these sharp walls. This will allow for adequate space for your character to avoid all the overhead attacks by the berserkers, as well as providing defensive walls to stop the shaman's magic attacks. After you're happy with your dugout, it's time to put it to work. Run to the nearby village and aggro all the Furlings. They seem to chain off one another, so running around the perimeter works very well. As you can see, simply by hopping within our dugout, the Furlings start trying to follow you into the pit. They get stuck within these sharp walls, so once they're in there for good. Another awesome addition to this is the use of the Abyssal Harpoon. Using the harpoon to grab any stragglers that may be outside your pit is both entertaining and efficient. If the Furlings lose attention while you're waiting for them to fall inside the pit, simply jump or move side to side to re-aggro any that may be outside. I highly recommend prioritizing pulling the Furling Shamans ASAP, as they can be very unpredictable while outside the pit. As you can see, I had to make 2 trips to get the rest of the Furlings from the village. There was only 2 Furlings left in the town, so you can deal with them as you see fit. But for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to pull them back into my pit. As you can see, the Furlings become harmless the minute they're put inside the pit. They're still aggro to you, but they're unable to hit you when you're inside of your dugout. If you're simply looking to plunder the chests within the villages for totems or barley, this is a very good method to do so. You can trap the Furlings and then just jump back over your pit and loot their village without having to deal with a single Furling. However, I'd like to kill the rest of these Furlings, as they have a very good chance to drop black scrap metals, as well as coins, totems, and trophies. If you're not really an archer, I have another option for you. While standing anywhere inside the safety of your walls, you can bash your 2-handed hammer on the ground beneath you and still connect with the Furlings. If for some reason you don't have an iron sledge yet, even the stag breaker will work. It's also a very cool opportunity to use any of those ooze bombs you've happened to collect. Ooze bombs provide both damage over time and area of effect damage. You're actually able to throw the ooze bombs on the ground or at the walls around you, without taking any damage but still damaging the Furlings as well. Even with a maxed out iron sledge, the berserkers take quite a few hits. But seeing as you're secure within your walls, it's very mindless and totally safe. So take your time. After you've successfully wiped out the Furling population, you're free to jump down inside your pit and collect all those sweet black metal scraps, coins, totems, and trophies that the whole Furling village worked so hard to obtain over the years. As an added bonus, you can take your time exploring the once bustling village to finish off your pillaging. It's pretty much free real estate at this point. If you have another village or villages close by, you can pull the Furling groups into your farm. But even if you're just setting this up for a single small village, safety, speed, and efficiency are enough to make this build super worthwhile. Once you build the setup one time and understand what you can or can't get away with, you'll be able to throw this up in a couple minutes, only really limited by the pickaxe skill and the level of your pickaxe. Once again, I'd like to give a big thanks to everyone who took the time to dislike and flame my video, as well as everyone who shared their thoughts and feedback on my videos thus far. You guys are sick, and I love to hear all the awesome ideas you guys come up with. I'll be starting a Discord for other like-minded people to get together and share similar ideas and concepts. So if you're into that sort of thing, or would just be interested in a chat, keep an eye out on my channel, as well as my next video for all the details. For real, thank you so much to everyone who's watched this far. I'm so stoked to have gotten so much love from all of you on my videos. I hope to continue making more efficient videos on Valheim, and I look forward to the future of the game and the future of the community we're building on here. If you have any sweet ideas on how we could improve this build, or even just your thoughts and feedback, please don't be afraid to share your thoughts below in the comments. I genuinely look forward to hearing back from you guys, and I'm constantly looking to improve upon these builds. So yeah guys, that's it. I hope you were able to utilize this farm or concept in one of your playthroughs. And if you learned anything, or this video inspired a cool idea you have yourself, show this video some love so I can continue making content on this amazing game. Until next time guys, stay safe and keep on pushing. Peace.